Yo, what's going on, guys? Reversal here, and today I'm going to be doing an updated Dinosaur deck profile for the current format. Right now, we're kind of just in the ban list waiting room, but I've made a few changes since the last list I posted a few weeks ago, so figured now would be a good time to update it since we still probably have a few weeks left until we get a ban list, so just do an update video to kind of show where I'm at with the deck at the moment. I find this format pretty boring personally, but when I do decide to play, I've been doing perfectly fine with Dinos. Been beating Snake Eyes pretty consistently, so I think, like, even though we're in a tier 0 format, I think if you play clean with Dinos, you could still do well. So, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with the deck. I think it's fine, but I just think this format's kind of boring in general, so haven't been playing as much, but when I do, you already know what's happening. The Dinos are going crazy. But yeah, before I get started, if you're interested in this mat or these sleeves, check out finalsaga.de. Use code Versal10 for 10% off. And if you're into cloth play mats, check out Grimoire Accessories and use Versal5 for 5% off over there. Yeah, if you're into either of those, definitely check them out. If you haven't subbed to the channel already, definitely do that as well so you don't miss out. And if you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the videos, it helps a lot as well. But yeah, that's about it for getting into it. This time I'm on 43 cards, which is, I think last time was 44, but I'm on 43 now. I think it's fine. Whether you play 40 or a couple over 40, it's kind of a concession you have to make. Whether you want the deck to be a little more consistent and see the 3-card combos a little more often going first, versus having a better chance to win going second. I prefer having the deck be better going second personally, so I don't mind playing the couple extra cards. It helps draw the bricks out a little bit as well, even though it's not by a significant margin. It's a couple percent, which is fine. But yeah, I like being able to go second personally. If you do lose the dice roll and then post side, you can kind of tailor your matchups, but I find going second with this deck to be a lot easier than going first a lot of the time. But you still want to go first if given the choice for the most part. Sometimes post side you can opt to go second versus certain decks, but for the most part you want to just go first, build your board, and win. But yeah, we'll just go straight into it. The 3 OVs as usual, 2 Archosaurus, 3 babies, 2 petite, 1 misc. We're gonna have more than 1 misc pretty soon, hopefully. And the 1 Rex. I'm playing Rex still instead of Kaito, even though I did take the Litho out. I am playing the G-Golems at the moment, so the Earth is relevant for that. But if you don't play the G-Golems or Litho, it really doesn't matter if you want to play Kaito or this. It's the same thing. It's just, would you rather have something that can attack directly or something that's a little higher attack that could beat over stuff potentially? But other than that, it's really just preference. It doesn't really matter which one you choose. I still think like the polymerization stuff is bad, so as long as we're in a hand trap format, I think that stuff is just not worth playing. The 1 Meteorus and Frostosaurus still. The 2 Conductors, 1 Pank, and the newest inclusion is 1 Doggerin. I think Kaijus are decent for this deck in particular, since it's searchable technically, obviously, but mainly with the fireboards, the main thing you care about is the IP or an Appaloosa, so this can just cleanly out that for you, and it makes everything else a lot easier. And that's another reason we're playing this as well, which I'll get to in a sec, but that's it for the monsters. For the consistency spells and whatnot, we have the 3 Fossil Dicks, 3 Ground Xeno, 2 Lost World, 2 Pill, 3 Prosperity, and the newest inclusion is 2 Small World. This is what I decided to replace the Litho package with, to add a little more consistency to the deck, since I think you need to be playing something like that to add a little more consistency and a little more resilience. This card's weird to me, since it's not like Prosperity where you could just draw this, dig 6, and like you're good. You need to have like a few monsters to play with to use this, but in testing it's been pretty good. The only time it's really like dead from the test hands I did for the most part and stuff like that, it was only really dead very few times, and that was drawing like both of them, which is like super low percentage, like 1%. And the other times where this would just be dead would already have a 3-card combo alongside it, so it didn't really matter that much. But I think in practice this card's been pretty good. When you go second, game 1, you can use this to search for Doggerin or Pank potentially as well if you already have your combo pieces. Post side, going second, you would just side this out every time, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Excuse my voice, by the way, I'm pretty sick, so bear with me. But yeah, that's the main change from the last list. I've never really played this card in this deck before, since I don't think it's like the best, but right now I think it's okay. Then along with the Lost World, sometimes you can like Small World into Ovi or Misk, and then it helps you have a 3-card combo with the Lost World Misk Ovi, which is nice. So, and then the Lost World's nice for something else that we're playing as well. But I'm still just playing 2 since it's not really that good going second versus the fire decks because of Link Karibo, as I've said before. So for the non-engine, playing 3 Ash. This is the only hand trap I'm playing. I'm only really playing it in the main just because of Small World and because I don't want to side it. So playing 3 Fenrirs. Fenrir is, again, it's for Small World as well as this card can combo off with Lost World sometimes if you have like another random dinosaur to summon with it. And then it's just been good. Mainly going first. Going second, it's not that great this format, but it's like okay. But I think the utility it offers going first is worth including, especially with Small World to help give you that +1 to kind of help you not get screwed over with your card economy. 3 droplets and 1 called by. So droplet, another good reason to play Fenrir, just you get the free +1, and then if they do try to interact with this, you can just droplet send it as well. So that's like another added bonus. So, but I think droplet's just like the most consistent card right now in terms of dealing with the IPs and the Appaloosas, which, like I said, is the main thing that you care about with the fireboards. So even if you're not really sending like more than 1 card with droplet, it's usually pretty good right now. It also can hit the puppet lock stuff sometimes. It can hit the voiceless voice end board. So overall, I think droplet's just a really solid card right now. And call by is just call by for all the hand traps, and it's not that bad going second either. So that's it for the non-engine. For the extra deck, Dolka, Lagia, Lars, Usual, Dweller, Dugares, and Typhon. The XCs. Dugares, you probably just want to play this still for like Raid Raptor randomly and stuff like that, but you don't necessarily need it. The Typhon I think is nice for branded more than anything, but if you don't have this, you don't have to play it. Link Karibo, Secure Gardena. Hopefully Link Karibo doesn't get banned for Snake Eyes Sins. The 1 SP, it's SP. The Donner, this is for the Fenrir Lost World combos. And then the G Golem Access Code package, so you can go into this main phase 2 and pop stuff if you need to. You can also opt to play the Appaloosa. Sometimes for when you're going first, you can go into this with a more greedy play if you open like Meteorus alongside a 2-card combo, but you don't necessarily need to play the Appaloosa. But this is in like extra things you could play. The 1 Baron, so this is 14 right here. these are a couple other cards you could play. Like I said, the Appaloosa, Nightmare Phoenix, Pentastag, Baguska for Shifter, and then the Gigantosaur, which can come up occasionally. Doesn't really come up much, but you could play any of these as the 15th, or if you don't have Typhon, you can add in a few. So you have a few options here, but figured I'd just show kind of all the flex cards you could add in. Yeah, the G Golems are cool with the Fenrir being back in the list, since it is an extra Earth body that could come up. And these cards can just be nice to have to clear boards when you don't get the UCT before the battle phase sometimes. For the side deck, this is going to be more than 15, but I'll narrow it down to 15 afterwards. So we got the 1 Magnemite, 2 Druis Worm, 1 Baldrake, 1 Soraneer. I think Bystials are really good right now. They're not bad into the Snake Eyes decks, and they're really good into like Branded and Voiceless. So I think the number of Bystials you play is going to depend on how much Branded is at your locals, I think. Because like Voiceless, you can play other cards that hit them. Branded, it's kind of like you have the Bystials, the Ash, the Droplets, and then like that's kind of what your game plan is against them. So if you don't have a lot of Branded, you could easily cut these down to 3, whether you want to just play the good ones, or if you want to do 1 Druis Worm, 1 Baldrake, just to make it so if you draw 2 of these, you don't have like 2 Druis Worms, just so you have different names. But these are like the cards I like playing right now. But you probably don't play 5 unless you have a lot of like Branded at your locals. We got 3 Dark Ruler. This card's pretty good against pure Snake Eyes. It's a little iffy against Fire King Snake Eyes, but it's not like the worst card in the world. It's good against Voiceless and other random decks, but I think it's worth siding right now for sure. Then I'm playing a Thrust package. 1 Thrust, 1 Talents, 1 Change of Heart, and 1 Duster. Going second, you can side out one of your ground Xenos for a Thrust, and then just play some targets to go with it, depending on the matchup. So I think this is a nice thing to do. The steel cards are nice against Fire King, which is mainly why this package is here. Because I wanted something that's good against the Fire King version of Snake Eyes, since I think this deck has a fine time with pure, but the Fire King version can be a little more to deal with sometimes. So you want an extra card for that. And then we have the 3 Cosmics, which are also good against Fire King. And then just in general, it's good against like Stun, Runic, Summon Limit, stuff like that. Then the final card is 3 Judgment. Just wanted a going first card that I could always side in for like the Droplets. And this I think is the best one, since this can counter other Dark Rulers and Droplets, which can hurt your board significantly. And then this is good just as a safety blanket. As opposed to like Summon Limit, which you see a lot, I don't think is good in this deck. Anti-Spell I think is fine, but I think in a hand trap heavy format, your anti-spell can end up hurting you. So I'd rather just play something like this in a hand trap format, because say you start your plays, get hand trapped, then you just set your anti-spell and hope it gets you there. There's a good chance that you won't be able to play next turn without using spells if you were already like in a really bad spot. So I really like anti-spell and hand trap formats in this deck, so I think Judgment's good. If I was to cut this down to 15, like I said, it kind of depends on your locals, but if you don't have like a ton of Branded, you can cut the Bystials down to either just 2 Druis or 1 Druis, 1 Baldrake, and then you can cut like one of the Dark Rulers, so you still have like a bunch of back row hate for Summon Limits. You have the Steel card package with the Duster and the Thrust for additional back row hate. So this is 15 here. This would be like a fine approach to take. And like I said, you could play the second Druis form instead if you don't care about having like 3 different names. But yeah, it's gonna be it for the deck today. There's not much else to say about it. It's kind of where I'm at with the deck right now. Like I said, it's been doing fine for me. especially into like snake eyes and stuff. I've been winning pretty consistently when I do play, so deck's fine. Just get good with it, and you'll be fine. But yeah, that's it for today. Peace. Have a good one.